Peace. What's the word, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid before we start building on the subject matter for the day. Hopefully, y'all having a powerful Sunday thus far. Know it's midday. This is one of them spontaneous joints. Wasn't really planning on doing it, but I got something I want to get off my chest. So hopefully, y'all got about an hour or so to chop it up with the kid on this wonderful Sunday. Weather nice, sun is shining on our end, so hopefully everything is all peaceful. Give everybody a chance to tap in about a minute or two, and then we're gonna start getting into the subject matter we dealing with. People not knowing what they want because they don't know who they are. Real simple. Real simple, but I feel like it's something that's slept on in our community. And it sounds like a broken record, but I got to keep talking about it. I got to keep pushing this concept of self-knowledge before you try to master other people. I got to keep pushing it. It's important, and it continues to be neglected in our communities for the most part. Aaron, peace, what's happening? Ricky, what's the word? Ray, peace, what's happening? Somehow Black people, we always tend to feel like we can master other people, and most of us have not mastered ourselves. And this is just a fact of life. So how is it that you can have this elaborate set of standards for somebody else, but then when it comes to yourself, everything is loose. Everything is loose. You don't have any standards for yourself. You don't have an elaborate set of standards for yourself, but when it comes to somebody else, then okay, boom. Now they got to be near perfect. But when it comes to yourself, nah, you don't expect that from yourself. You don't think too highly of yourself. That's a problem. Airview, peace, what's happening? Lindell, peace, what's happening? K Cool, peace, what's the word? I don't know about y'all, but I hold myself to a high standard. And I'm going to hold myself to that high standard before I hold anybody else to that high standard. I got to make sure I'm living right and exact before I try to tell somebody else how they live. That's how I move. I don't know about everybody else. But I'm not about to be sitting out here criticizing somebody else if I got my own faults, if I got things that I need to work on. I'm not about to tell you you need to be living like this and I'm not living like that. Nah, what applies to me, I'm gonna make sure it applies to you. But in order for me to do that, I gotta make sure I'm right and exact, and I gotta make sure I'm living out what it is that I'm speaking. So I'm not about to say, okay, this applies to you, but it doesn't apply for me. You gotta move like this, but I can move however I want to move. But I expect this from you. Like, nah, it don't work like that, man. It don't work like that. When it comes to accountability, we got to have that self-accountability. You know what I'm saying? We got to be self-motivated, man. We got to want to do things for ourselves, man. And we don't, that shouldn't revolve around other people, and that's big. Shayna, peace, what's happening, Queen? What's the word? And that's big. So I tell people all the time, man, you always got to put in that work for yourself and just kind of discover things about yourself before you try to get into the business of discovering other people and mastering other people. A lot of times that's why these things don't work out, because we don't have ourselves figured out. So we in the process of trying to figure ourselves out, whole while trying to figure somebody else out too. It's a problem. That's problematic. And half the time we think we have ourselves figured out, but we really don't. Shantae, Peach Queen, what's happening? So I'm real big on just self-knowledge, self-discovery, figuring out your why, just figuring out a purpose before you start involving yourself in certain situations. That's important, man. That's important. You got to have some concept or some idea of who you are and what you're striving for in life before you try to bring somebody else into the equation. I feel like that's important. And a lot of us, we sleep on that, man. We be in such a rush to form a relationship with somebody else that we neglect that aspect of the situation, man. You got to know who you are, man, in order to know what it is that you need. That's important. It's almost like in the fitness field, you got to know your body type. You know what I'm saying? You got to know what type of body that you have in regards to what type of regimen that you need to follow. Everybody's body is created differently. Same applies to just getting in relationships with other people, man. You got to know yourself, man, in order to discover, hey, okay, this is what I need. This is what I work well with. This is not what I work well with. This, that, and the third. And a lot of times we not doing that, man. We just jumping into things and then wondering why it's not working. Well, if you have some ounce of self-knowledge, then you already gonna know. When you talking to a person, you gonna already know this is not gonna work. If you have any ounce of self-knowledge, you're gonna know that instantly just by having a conversation. Jasmine, peace queen, what's happening? Eugene, peace, what's the word? Ricky, my brother, appreciate the donation. Oh yeah, self-accountability and self-discipline. I'm gonna keep talking about these things until 50% of the population becomes more disciplined and holds themselves accountable. You know, because those, man, I'm telling you, broken record, accountability, discipline. I talk about them all the time, and those things are the most important things I feel like in life, man. You acquire that discipline, man. You good to roll. You good to roll. Redbird, peace. What's happening? You acquire that discipline, man. You build up that level of discipline. You're gonna be good to roll, man. It's gonna be hard to break a person, man, that has discipline. Okay, cool, exactly. And that's what I'm saying, man. We gotta break ourselves down, man. Like I said, a lot of people, they don't have this breakdown. They just jumping into situations, man, and they not knowing, they really not knowing what it is they looking. They think they know what they looking for. Like, again, it's a difference between wants and needs. Big difference. Like I said, at the end of the day, when you're talking about nutrition, it's certain foods that you may want to eat, but then you have the foods that you need to eat, and they might not be the same things. But in order for you to know exactly what it is that your body needs, you got to be in tune with who you are. Because you, like, let's take something like protein, for example. You can get your protein from a lot of different sources. But at the end of the day, it's still protein, but you can get it from a lot of different sources. You got to get in tune with your body type, though, to find the right source of the protein for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that, man. Like, that is what it is. Love is the same type of way. Love is the same type of way. There's a lot of different ways you can get this love, man, but you got to find out the way that's suitable for you, the way that's best for you to get it. And a lot of people don't know that way. A lot of people don't know that way. Oh, Corey, for sure. You already, yeah, you already know. I ain't gonna speak on that today, but you already know. I feel you on that one, but appreciate you though for tapping in. You know, so we just gotta we gotta get more in tune, man. Like, for real. Like, how many times are you all sitting down just asking yourself powerful questions, man? Corey, peace, what's happening? Just real powerful questions. A lot of times, man, we seeking these answers on the outside when the answers are already there on the inside. We just not asking ourselves these questions. We ask somebody else the question, then they give us an answer, then we either accept it or reject it. Well, you can ask yourself that same question and get your answer. And there ain't nothing for you to reject at that point, because your mind is going to conjure up an answer for you. But we lack this confidence. We lack the self-knowledge. We lack all of that to the point where we don't trust ourselves. And that's a big problem. People talk about they have trust issues when it comes to other people. No, a lot of times we have trust issues when it comes to ourselves. So we don't trust ourselves. That's why we seek outside validation and confirmation when it comes to a lot of our problems and things that we facing in life, because we lack this trust in ourselves. No, like, I trust myself very thoroughly. That's why a lot of times I don't necessarily ask people a lot of questions, because I trust myself. If it's something that's revolving around me or something that's pertaining to me, who's the best knower of self? It's me. So I don't need anybody else to confirm what it is that I'm about to do. I've already confirmed it for myself. I know that this is the move that I need to make because I have confirmed it with myself. How somebody else gonna tell me that this is not the move for me to make? Man, they not in tune with me. They don't know who I am. They don't know what space I'm in right now. They don't know anything about my work ethic. Like, no, all they know is what I have shown them. But that's not the whole entire story, though. So I'm real big on seeking that outside validation and trusting yourself. I know that's contrary to what a lot of people may tell you. They may tell you to seek mentors and seek help on this and this, that, and the third. Like, nah, you don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? We experience enough things in life, and we have a powerful mind. Whether you want to label it subconscious, conscious, like, it's all one mind, and that joint is powerful. So anything that you need to do, you can do it via accessing that powerful mind. Or anything that you need to know, you can find out by accessing that powerful mind. So again, somebody give me some type of reason that in regards to why I need to seek the outside validation. In regards to if I have a question for myself that I need answered, why do I need outside validation? Why do I need to ask people that they may not be in tune with anything? They not in tune with themselves, but I'm expecting them to answer a question that revolves around me, being in tune with me. Come on now. How somebody that's not in tune with themselves gonna answer something for you, about you? And that's the problem. That's why I'm always telling people, get in tune. Montel, peace, what's happening? E reacts, peace, what's the word? Air view for sure. 100% we in tune. You know what I'm saying? We in tune. Create strategy, peace, what's happening? So again, like I said, a lot of times, man, I'm not asking people a lot of questions. I don't need to. I don't need what I need to do it for. And this is not cocky. This is not anything like that. This is not condescending. If it's something revolving around me, I'm not asking anybody but me. Now, if it's something that I need to know that's dealing with something outside of me, then I'm gonna ask questions. But if it's in regards to something about me, how I need to move, what I need to do, only person that can answer that is me. Only person that can answer that is me. Seriously, all I got to do is tap into the source, and that source is within me. That's it. I've taken that L too many times in life, and I ain't talking about a lesson. I have allowed too many people to dictate how I move. I've asked people, "Hey, what do you think I should do in regards to this?" And I've listened to them, and it wasn't. I shouldn't have did that. I shouldn't have moved. I shouldn't have moved according to how they suggested I move. Because they don't know me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your mother, father. Like, people can think they know you, but they don't, man. Like, listen, once you start separating from your parents and you become an adult, like, they don't know, they're not tapped in. They're not tapped in, man. You the only one. You the best knower of yourself. I'm telling y'all, you are the best knower of yourself. I don't care how long you've been with somebody. I don't care if it's your pops. I don't care if it's your mother. I don't care if it's your grandmother. You are the best knower of yourself. But we not living that reality. We giving everybody else that power. We giving everybody else that power. We making it appear as if everybody else knows us better than we know ourselves. Whether it be a doctor, whether it be a teacher, whether it be a psychiatrist, anybody. Man, you know what you're dealing with. You know the type of feelings that you done suppressed and things like that. And if you don't, you can tap into it. You can tap into it. We just be afraid, man. We be afraid to do the things that will result in us tapping into that. 100%. We afraid. We're afraid to tap in. One of the best ways to tap in, sitting in that silence. We're afraid of that, though. We don't want to do that because we're afraid of what we will manifest. We're afraid of what we will conjure up. You can't have that fear. Which is one of the reasons why people don't like it. They don't like to talk to an individual that will tell them what they need to hear. See, that's how your mind is wired. Like, a lot of times when you ask yourself a question, like, yourself is going to tell you something that you need to hear, not what you want to hear. You know? So a lot of times that's why we don't like tapping into ourselves, because hey, that mind gonna be like, all right, man, this is what you asked for. I'm gonna give you this answer. You may not like this answer, but I don't care about that. This is what you asked me. I'm gonna give you the truth. C Square, peace, what's happening? Monet, peace, what's happening? Rika Chanel, peace, what's the word? Corey, 100%. Always within, I'm telling you. Go find me one question that you have about yourself that you can't find the answer by seeking within. Please go find me. Well, I guarantee anything, man. Listen, you can find any answer that you need by asking yourself a question. Whether it be what type of food you need to eat. I done already gave y'all the experiment. If you need to find out if a chemical, or like if a food is bad for you, not even a food, anything that contains chemicals. You don't even have to go to Google. You don't have to look this stuff up. Like, literally, you don't even have to go on Google to determine if something is bad for you. Just get in a relaxed state, stand up, hold that joint to your chest, close your eyes, and you're gonna either rock forward or backwards. This is science. Like, you're gonna either rock forward or backwards. So if you hold something up to your chest that has some chemicals in it and you stand in that relaxed state and you go forward, then that means that joint is good for you. If you go backwards, then that means it's bad for you. It's toxic. You don't need to be consuming that or putting it on your body or your skin. You didn't figure out this answer without you having to go to Google, without you having to ask anybody. All you did was ask yourself. Literally. And you can even do that. You can literally do the same test that I'm talking about by asking yourself a question. So you don't even need to have a product. You can literally ask yourself a question. So let's just say you got a decision that you're wrestling with. Should you make a purchase? Whatever the purchase may be, ask yourself that question repeatedly in the same type of stance that I'm talking about. You're standing up in a relaxed state, hands to the chest, ask yourself the question and keep repeating it. And you're going to either rock forward or backwards. It works like clockwork. You're going to either rock forward or backwards. Now, again, you got to clear your mind when you're doing this, because if you go in there with a biased mentality, if you go in there with a distorted mind, then again, that can hinder not hinder it, but that can tamper with the results of this test that I'm talking about. So you got to make sure you're relaxed in order to get an accurate result. But again, you can find out the answer to anything by tapping in with yourself, literally. But we afraid to tap in with that self, so we try to tap in with everybody else. And that's part of the problem. That's why we are in a lot of situations that we don't need to be in. Because we running, man. We running from ourselves, man. We running from ourselves, man. We are running. Big time running. That's why a lot of us are mentally fatigued, because we just keep running from ourselves, man. Running, when you break everything down to fitness, running is what? That's endurance, man. That's endurance. You keep on running, man. That heart rate is up. That heart rate is up, man. You know? So we just running. We just running from ourselves. No break. Wonder why we tired all the time. Wonder why we fatigued, man. Because we running from ourselves, man. We running. You can run physically and you can run mentally. We running mentally. We are running mentally, man. Instead of sitting down and say, all right, man, you know what? It's time for me. Let's rest. Boom. Let's stop running. Let's stop running for a minute. And let's just rest right here. So let me tap into these thoughts. Let me tap into these suppressed emotions and feelings. Man, you can even, Jazzberry, you say, how did you find that out? That's a kinesiology like test. I think it's like, yeah, it's kinesiology. So I was just reading, what's the book, man? I got a book around here, man. A book that I read like 10 plus years ago. Here it is. This is the book that introduced me to the test that I'm talking about. Everything falling. But Timeless Secrets of Health and Rejuvenation. This book was the first book I read that mentioned the test, and it's in a lot of like kinesiology type books. Because the original version of the test is different than what I'm saying, because it involves having a partner. But if you don't have a partner, the way that I broke it down is the way that you do it. But the original version of the test involves you having a partner, and you hold like your strong hand out, and they supposed to try to press it down while you're thinking about an item, or you having certain type of thoughts, or whatever the case may be. Or you can hold the item in your hand and they try to press it down. And you know what I'm saying? If it goes down easily, then that means, well, you don't need that item, or these thoughts are negative and toxic. But if your hand stay up, or if your arm stay up while you're pressing down on it, then that means like it's positive, it's healthy, it's good for you, things like that. But that's a kinesiology test and whatnot. So yeah, studying just kinesiology and things like that is how I came across that test, because it's like a muscle test or whatever, muscle mind type connection test or whatever. But yeah, that test is accurate. I'm telling you, I've done it plenty of times. But like I said, you got to really clear your mind before you actually do it. You can't go into it like, this is stupid, or this ain't gonna work. Or if you got an item and you trying to like, this is good. Like, no, just go into it with an unbiased mind, clear the mind, empty the cup, as they say, get in that relaxed state, and you're gonna go backwards or forwards. Works like clockwork every time that I do it. Never fails. Never fails, man. Hold something up to that chest, man, and you're gonna instantly find out. All right, yep, don't need to be fooling with this like at all. This is toxic. Shantae, for sure. I remember the first time, like when I was skeptical, the first time I came across, I'm like, nah. And then I did it, and it was crazy. It was crazy. So I swear by it. I try to put everybody on in regards to that. And it's a lot of things, man, that we can do to test ourselves, man. And to just tap in. To just tap in. You know, that's all. Like when you go to therapy, like they just tapping in. They just tapping in for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? They just tapping in. So you could eliminate the middleman. You just tap in. Ask yourself the questions. Give yourself permission. You know what I'm saying? To be great and heal and things like that. You're going to tap in. You're going to tap in. I'm telling you, you are going to tap in. Keep asking yourself the questions day in and day out, and you're going to tap in. It may not happen overnight for you. It may not happen in a week. It may not happen in a year. It takes time because, again, we are damaged people just psychologically. So it's going to take time to repair that damage. But if you stay consistent and you keep, you know what I'm saying, you relentless with it, then you're going to transform. You're going to transform and you're going to heal. Chris, peace, what's happening? You will definitely heal. You will definitely transform. Walker, peace, what's the word? But as I said, we take that energy and we apply it to other people. I see it all the time, man. People, we focus so hard on figuring out other people. I mean, I'm talking about we focus hard. We be trying to figure out everybody else in their situation. Why they doing what they doing? Why they moving like this? Why they posting this? We concentrate so hard on other people that we always neglect ourselves. If we just took an ounce of that concentration and directed it towards ourselves, man, the world it'll be a better place just off of that. But we take all of our focus and concentration and we direct it towards everybody else in regards to mastering them and their feelings and their thoughts and their psychology. Yeah, I got you figured out. Like we be, that's what we be on. We be wanting to have everybody else figured out. Oh, I know your type. You know what I'm saying? I know your type. Do you know your type though? So we got all these other types of people figured out, but do you know your type? Do you know what type you fit in with? But you know what type I fit in with. You know what type this other man fits in with. You know what type this woman fits in with. But do you know what type you fit in with? What is your type? And I'm not talking about the type you prefer when it comes to other people. What is your type? If somebody had to describe, like if somebody said, okay, you are my type of person, what would they be describing in your words? What is your type? Again, we have all these standards for other people. We have all these types for other people, but what is your type? Who are you? Who are you? How would somebody else describe you to their peoples? Who are you? I remember I was reading a book that said, man, it was talking about like when you die and the eulogy, like if somebody had to go up and speak about you, what would you want them to say? And this was like a business book in regards to just focusing on what you want to accomplish while you are alive. But like this book was like, man, just think in terms of your funeral. What do you want people to be saying about you at the funeral? What type of impact did you leave on the world? So I say apply that to like type to entertaining other people in reference to relationships. What is your type? What is your type? Like, who are you? You got all this type. You want a dude to be 6'5", 220. Like, you know what I'm saying? We ain't even about to get in there, but that's y'all already know. Y'all know how long that standard sheet be. It'd be like 5-6 pages. But what about you though? What is your type? That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing. And again, we never address that. We never address, and it's the crazy. We address it in the sense that we focus on the things that we so-called bring to the table. See, everybody wants to make it seem like they perfect. Everybody want to make it seem like can't nobody do better than them. No. When we talk about your type, we bringing in flaws, we bringing in all of that. The pros and the cons. See, I got people can focus on they pros. They can say, I do this, that, and the third. I'm loyal, I'm honest. And half of them be lying when they do that. You know what I'm saying? Half of them be lying when they start speaking like that. Like, be honest with yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? Right now today, just be honest with yourself when it comes to a self-assessment. Be real. Be real. If you haven't been completely honest up to this point, don't say that you an honest person. Just say you an honest person. Like, it depends. You know what I'm saying? If that's your reality, speak that reality. We don't honestly assess ourselves out here, man. Like, we don't honestly assess ourselves out here, man. And that's why we having a lot of problems. We forget to address a lot of things when it comes to ourselves, man. A lot of us, like I said, want to appear to be good, perfect, whatever the case may be, whatever word we want to utilize. Like I used to tell people a lot of times back in the day, I was like, I know I'm trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm trash. I ain't never put myself on a pedestal. Like, I know I'm not the one. Like, I know I'm not. You know what I'm saying? As far as like communication and just being an introvert, not really fooling with people like that, not being a sociable person. Like, I know I'm not. Like, I'm not even gonna feed you a fairy tale. Like, I'm gonna tell you out the gate, I don't really rock with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm introvert. Like, man, like, it's a lot of things that I do that most people don't do. So it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna tell you that out the gate. Out the gate. And I'm not even gonna have to tell you that out the gate. I'm gonna show you that out the gate. Point blank. So if you choose to move, you know what I'm saying, somebody choose to move forward with you, then that's on them. But if you let them know the truth out the gate, you show them the truth, hey, but I'm in tune with who I am. And a lot of these things I'm comfortable with. You know, I've tapped into being an introvert and socially awkward. But see, these are things like a lot of society will make it seem like, hey, that's a problem. You need to change that. But no, after tapping into myself, I said, no, it ain't nothing wrong with me being this way. Really ain't. It's a lot of pros to being this way. It's a lot of pros to be in this way. Oh, so you say, well, if they're not truthful. And that's why I said the actions. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said not only would I tell somebody this up front, but my actions going to display it as well. A lot of times, man, people have a hard time lining up their actions with what they say. That's very hard for people to do. Very hard for people to do. So if you watch people long enough, then their actions going to tell you something. Or if you let people talk long enough, then their words going to tell you something. All you got to do is either A, observe them, or you got to B, let them speak. Let them talk. You do that long enough, one of those avenues is going to give you the truth that you need. Oh, Corey, 100, you already know that's one of my unpopular opinions, which is why I freed myself from it. I never felt comfortable. I never felt true to myself working for these folks. You know? Oh, Shanti, I'm telling you. That and man, I forgot what business book that's in, but if you had to do that in college, I'm pretty sure they probably got it from this business book that I had to read. But that mug, write your own eulogy, game changing. I was like, hold on, whoa. And that was real in the field. Never thought about it. Like, I never thought about it until I read it. Hold on, write my own eulogy. Like, what would I want people to say about me after I'm dead? Why would I want to think about that? But it's like I thought about it. Now, granted, we live in a, like, I don't necessarily care about what people think about me, but my impact is everything. My impact is everything. My legacy is everything. So I do, you know what I'm saying? That legacy, yeah, it has to be acknowledged. You know what I'm saying? Like, the work that I'm putting in is going to be acknowledged one way or another. Redbird, man, I get called serious all the time. And that's another thing. That's another thing. Like, I would get called serious, and it would be in the sense of like people trying to change me or people making it seem like that's a negative. Like, nah, you got different people in this world. You got people that joke a lot. You got people that's serious. I'm just a serious person. That's just who I am. That's not positive nor negative. That's just who I am. I'm not about to change that. And for the longest, society will have you feeling like these things are bad, these things are wrong, you shouldn't be that way. Nah, I'm gonna be how I'm comfortable being. Like, ain't nothing wrong with me being a serious person. I balance out the person that's joking too much. It's called balance. It's called equality for a reason. I don't expect the whole world to be like me. I don't expect the whole world to be serious like me. Select few that may be serious like me. But we balance out the other folk. We balance out the folk that play too much. Just like we don't want a world full of goofy people. Like, nah, it's got to be some balance there. So my role is to balance out the goofiness. You know what I'm saying? That's my role. I'm here to balance out the person that's joking all the time. Now, granted, that don't mean we don't know how to joke, but we more so we 80, 90% serious. It is what it is. If that's not your cup of tea, you don't have to be around me. You don't have to tune in to me. You don't have to talk to me, none of that. And that's the realization that I came to. It's like, dude, if I'm not your cup of tea, then don't drink me then. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not forcing anybody. Like I already am not a sociable person. So if you claim to not like a certain aspect of me, you doing me a favor. You know what I'm saying? Like, because now I don't have to have that conversation with you. Eliminate yourself. Like it ain't no gun in your head saying, all right, man, this dude's so serious, I gotta be around. Like, you don't have to be around me. So you do me the favor and remove yourself. Because the last thing an introvert and an antisocial person is trying to do is to have a difficult conversation. We not trying to have those conversations. We don't really care for them. Sparino Gaming, peace. What's happening? Sherry, what you say? I have an important decision to make. You're right. Maybe I don't need to talk through someone else, but need to listen to myself. 100%, man. 100%. Now I know that that's contrary to popular recommendations or the consensus, or they feel like you need to talk through with somebody else. But man, really, in my experience, that tends to be a negative. That tends to be a negative, man. I don't get a lot of. See, the only thing is people just judge based off of their experiences. You know what I'm saying? So they giving you answers based off of their experiences. It's their experiences. It's their perception. While they may mean no harm, like their perception is not mine. The way they experience something is not the way I experienced it. Even if we went through a similar experience. So we just different, man. So if I need to make a decision, I'm telling you, the best thing you can do if you got a decision that you need to make is fast, meaning refrain from food, and just meditate. Fast, meditate, and ask yourself questions. I guarantee you will come up with an answer. Shantae, man, like I said, I don't care if you lie to everybody else on the planet. Please don't lie to yourself. Please don't lie to yourself. Please don't lie to yourself. You lie to everybody else on this planet, but just don't lie to yourself. Tell yourself the truth at least. Christmas show. And that's the eulogy for you. Oh, Lanny, you took it back, a different world. I'm gonna have to tap into that episode. Osai, you say, how do you adjust to trying to hold someone accountable for the past actions and they constantly view it as I'm judging them? First of all, I'm gonna break it down from this first part. How do you adjust to trying to hold someone accountable? Already failed right there. Trying to hold someone accountable. So now you can't control, like outside of you lack control. So you cannot control how someone responds to you holding them accountable. They got to hold themselves accountable. If somebody is not willing to hold themselves accountable, then it don't matter what you do. It don't matter that you trying to hold them accountable. It's on them. Either somebody gonna hold themselves accountable or they not. It don't matter what somebody else does. Nobody else can hold me accountable. I gotta hold myself accountable. You know what I'm saying? Period. Point blank. So if you dealing with somebody and you trying to hold them accountable and they not being receptive, drop it, leave it alone. Because they not ready to be accountable. They already letting you know right there, right then and there that they not ready to be accountable. When that person is ready to be accountable, then that's what they gonna be, accountable. So they already let you know, I'm not ready to be accountable. I'm not ready to hold myself accountable. Take that intel, man. Take that information and run with it. Stop dealing with them on that level because they let you know I ain't ready for that life. E-reacts, I'm telling you, standing firm on what you believe, elevating, having discipline, all of these things are serious. All of these things are serious. Just simple fact that I like read and watch what I eat, work out, things like that, may listen to a different type of music, I get called serious. Like, what? Hey, Corey, there we go. Hey, Ali V, you say that's why it's called advice, 100%. And you know what's crazy? I put that in back when I used to rap. I literally put that in a song way back in the day. Now I can't find the song, but I literally put that in a song way back in the day. I literally broke it down. I broke it down just like that. Shakir, peace, what's happening? Luke, peace, what's the word? Oside, no, hey, no doubt, for sure, 100%. Like I'm not in the business of holding other people accountable. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in the business of that. Nope. Even with training, like at the end of the day, I give you the workout, but when it comes to what you eating, it's on you. I'm not gonna babysit you now. I'm not gonna do that. I give you the foundation. Eat this, don't eat that. Now you doing what you must with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna put you through the work. I'm gonna do my job on the workouts. You know, some people be wanting a babysitter. I'm not doing that. I'm not babysitting grown folk. I'm not babysitting grown folk. I'm not babysitting no grown man. I'm not babysitting no grown woman. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. That's too stressful. I ain't got time for that. Hey, Delano, peace, peace. Hey, for sure. More where that came from. Oh, Chris, yeah, exactly. And you know what's crazy is I have a nice balance of music. So it's always interesting when people be like, oh, you listen to that. I'm like, dude, I listen to everything, you know. So it's always funny when I decide to listen to music with a message that everybody want to judge me based on that and label me serious. But then when I listen to the music that everybody else listening to, ain't nobody got anything to say. But that's life though. Like I'm in tune with myself. Like I'm not trying to hide who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with who I tell people all the time. What you see with me is what you get. Melanie creates peace. What's happening? Luke, everything is peaceful. Everything is peaceful. But I tell people all the time, what you see with me is what you get. You know what I'm saying? When I worked at the bank, the same way I'm talking to y'all now is how I talk to customers. That's why a lot of customers rock with me. I ain't put on no different voice when I talked on the phone. I ain't put on no different voice when I talk to these people in person. What you saw was what you got. Like if you, the way y'all looking at me now, my hair was just down just like this when I was working in banking. I wasn't no different dude, and everybody respected that. Authentic. You know, people respected that. I kept it true to myself, man. That's one thing I've always done, and I never forget. I've told this story plenty of times, but I never forget. It was an older black lady when I first started working at the bank, the first bank I worked at, she came in there and she was like, don't let these jobs change you. She's like, you have a good spirit. You have an authentic and genuine spirit. Don't let these jobs change you. And I never saw that lady again. You know what I'm saying? She told me out the gate, she was like, please don't let these jobs change you. You have an authentic and genuine spirit. Please don't let them change you. Took it and ran with it. Although I wasn't gonna have, they wasn't gonna change me anyway. But from that moment forward, I was like, man, cool. Hey, people like authenticity, man. They like when you be yourself, man. You keep it true. And that's what I do. I keep it true to myself. Even when I get on here, man, I'm not getting on here fronting for the camera. Like, nah, man, what y'all seeing is what y'all would get in person. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what y'all gonna see, man. I ain't making everything perfect for y'all to see it. Like, nah, man, the book's crooked in the background. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, man. Redbird, man, they like our music. C Square, man. I can relate to that. What they say, never judge a book by its cover. Yet that's all that people do. That's all that people do. They do that with me all the time. That's why I rock my hoodies, I rock my scullies. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking like I'm coming to rob you, but I'm far from that. You know, far from it. And like you say, when people talk to me, they be like, well, Dad, I thought you was X, Y, and Z. That's your problem. That's how people be getting robbed and gypped out here, because they let their guards down around certain people. I'm not mad at you for having your guards up around me. I have my guards up around everybody. I don't trust people. You know what I'm saying? I always got my guards up. That's how you know what I'm saying? You got to live like that, unfortunately. So I ain't mad when somebody say, man, you know what I'm saying? I didn't, you looked a certain type of way. Cool, man, I get it. But don't run away from a conversation with a brother such as myself. MT, peace, what's happening? Oh, yeah, for sure. I know y'all see the books sitting sideways. Shout out to Paul Wall, sitting sideways in the background, but it is what it is, man. Oh, Shantae, yeah. They want big time babysitters. And like I said, I'm not in that business. I'm not babysitting adults. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, I just not can't do that. I'm not babysitting adults. The only people that I would consider not even babysitting, but it's like mentoring. People younger than the young bulls. But it's people my age and I'm like, I can't babysit y'all, man. When I give y'all the keys, then hey, you could either take those keys and open these doors, or you could just look at these keys. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, like, I'm giving you the key. If I give you the keys, I've done my job. I've done my job. I give you the keys, and now you choosing to just sit on those keys and not open these doors. It's your fault. That's your fault. But I'm not babysitting a Zero, the rapper from Houston, Texas. He said, I don't mind coaching, but I ain't gonna babysit. You know what I'm saying? Big difference. I don't mind coaching, but I ain't gonna babysit. We can coach all day, but I'm not babysitting. We can teach all day, but I'm not babysitting you. I'm not holding your hand through this process, because you're gonna get dependent on that. That's why I'm not babysitting, man. You're gonna get dependent on me. You know what I'm saying? So if I babysit you through this nutrition journey, then what's gonna happen is when I'm eliminated from the picture, guess what's gonna happen to you? You're gonna deviate from everything that I've taught you, because you were dependent on me for your success, for your nutritional success. No, I'm teaching you, as they say, teaching you how to fish. I'm not gonna catch them fish for you. You would thank me later for that. Melanie Creates, you say, what's your idea on the origins of humanity? Good question right there. And you know, nothing is off limits on this particular channel. But I, without getting too deep in that, because I feel like that will be a whole nother video, I'm one of the very few Black individuals that don't really deal with a religious origin of humanity. I deal with evolution, not in the sense, every time people say or hear me say evolution, they think of Charles Darwin, but people don't, ain't nothing new under the sun. We dealt with evolution before him, you know. So I deal with evolution, you know what I'm saying, single cell organisms, things evolving from that, and it's a whole little process. And I wish I had the book, because this book was written by a brother. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tap in with this book. I'm gonna bring up this book. I got this book around me somewhere, but I don't see it. I got this book around me somewhere, but I do not see it. I'm trying to see if I can access it real quick. I don't think I can, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the book. It's called Introduction to African Civilizations, John G. Jackson. And this book, he talks about evolution. This is a Black guy. Like, a lot of times people don't associate Black folks with talking about evolution. But John G. Jackson, in his Introduction to African Civilizations, this is actually the first book I had read some years back that dealt with evolution, written by a brother. So I would say tap in with that book. Again, that's a whole, you know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother, you know what I'm saying, video. I could talk about it in detail, but I'll probably say that for another video, because that's good content right there. Because again, the way I view that is different for most Black people, I would say. But such is my life. Hey, Capone, peace, what's happening? Toko, peace. Yeah, mental babysitters for sure. Sportman, 812, peace, what's happening? Luke, 100%. 100%. Jasmine, none of the, you know what I'm saying? Like, none of those, they like, and that's another thing too. And you know what, Melody? Matter of fact, you didn't just brought up something that's important indirectly. You don't even realize what you did. You don't even realize what you did. Indirectly, you brought up something that has something to do with this. Everything is connected. So I've seen this happen too many times. I have seen people get together, right? And they'll be years in the game. And this is crazy. It's crazy to me. But I've seen people get together and it'll be like years into the relationship. And then they all of a sudden just figure out that they have a difference of beliefs. They have a different set of beliefs. And it starts causing problems. I'm like, how do you talk to somebody for 4 or 5 years and y'all just realize y'all have a different set of beliefs? Or I would see people get into a relationship and they try to ignore that. You know what I'm saying? Like you will have a person that they believe in celebrating holidays and the other person don't really care for them, but they trying to ignore that. Man, that's an important conversation to have. You can't ignore something like that. And I feel like a lot of times we don't have those important conversations. We don't have those type of conversations before we get relaxed. I feel like that stuff is important. I don't feel like that's something that we should overlook and try to ignore. Like, nah, we got a different set of beliefs, man. We might need to discuss how this is going to work. You know what I'm saying? If we have a different outlook on holidays, we need to discuss that before we try to embark on this relationship. If we have a different set of beliefs in regards to how we going to eat, we might need to discuss that before we start trying to get into a relationship. How is this going to work? Contrary to popular belief, this stuff is important. This stuff is very important. People sleep on that. People sleep on going into a relationship and discussing beliefs. Like, no, you're not discussing beliefs with an average Joe off the street. You discussing beliefs with a person that you want to enter a relationship with. That's important. That's important, man. How you gonna ignore the fact that this brother is a Muslim? Like, you can't do that. You got to deal with that, man. You can't ignore that. You can't ignore that at all. Like these things, like this is important. Like, how do you view the world? Like, what is your outlook on life? Just like Melanie said, like, what do you think about the origin of humanity? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, try to see where somebody's mind is at. But we're not asking these questions because, for one, we probably don't have an intelligent response to these questions ourselves. And a lot of times we believe in things because of our upbringing. So we're not thinking nothing of it. Oh, I'm this because my parents raised me that way. That's not an intelligent response in regards to why you subscribe to something. Like, no, why do you subscribe to this? Like, I'm not telling what people told you to believe in or subscribe to. Why? Why do you subscribe to it? I don't care what your pastor said. I don't care what this book says. I don't care what your mom said. I don't care what your granny said. What do you say? You didn't live long enough now to formulate your own outlook and perception on this. So what's up? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was dealing with a lot. And I almost started to accept reality. I was like, man, it ain't gonna be too many black people, too many black women, because I wasn't fooling with anything outside of black women. So I'm like, I just chunked it up like it ain't gonna be too many black women that ain't dealing with, you know what I'm saying, religion the way I did. Like, I just felt like it wasn't gonna be too many situations like that. So I was like, man, at the end of the day, I'm probably gonna have to talk to somebody that just got a totally different set of beliefs, and we just got to find a way to make it work. But I was like, nah, I ain't finna do that. Now I'm gonna come in this thing and let people know where I stand, and y'all gonna see the way that I'm living. And again, that's how we gonna go from there. Sweet Tea, peace. What's happening? They sign, peace. What's the word? Jay Bizzle, peace. What's happening? Millionaire, that's it. Romance. They caught up in that lust, and people don't want. People get all in their feelings when we talk about your spouse, choosing your spouse. That's a business decision. So you looking for romance, but it's really a business decision. At the end of the day, that's a business decision. Whether we want to admit it or not, the person that you choose to be with is a business decision. Y'all are going to come together and form a brand. Whether y'all want to acknowledge that and admit that or not, it is a business decision. The person that you choose to be with is going to be a reflection of you, and y'all come together and form a brand. This is business. But people get in their feelings when somebody says that. Prove it wrong. It is a business decision. You do not want to be, and I'm going to use this word because I don't care. You do not want to be forming a business with a dummy. If y'all talking about having kids, or if y'all already got kids and you want somebody to step in and play the role of stepmother, stepfather, you wouldn't choose a dummy, somebody that don't have anything to offer, mentally and physically. So no, it's a business decision. Business decision. So that stuff is bigger than just romance, which for the most part, that revolves around lust. When you making decisions based solely off of romance, it's all lust related. But people don't want to talk about that. They don't want to admit that. But it's more so a business decision. And that's how it needs to be viewed every time. You making a business decision. And ain't nothing wrong with that. This ain't no negative. Me saying it's a business decision is not being negative. It's literally what it is, though. Like your family, like that's your brand, literally. That is your brand. That is your brand. Fellas, if you get a woman and she becomes your wife, when she goes out separate from you, she's representing what? The family. When you go out separate from your guess you representing the family. When your kids go out, they represent the family. So like if your kids acting weird, then they gonna be like, what's going on at home? What is the parents teaching them? It's a brand, it's a business. There is no way you about to send your kids out and then they start acting a certain type of way and people don't associate it with what's going on at home. When you raise kids a certain type of way and they intelligent, people will be like, oh, they had a good upbringing. They parents raised them right, because it's a brand. It is a brand. It's a business decision. We can't run from that. Your family, it's a business. Whether you want to make it a legit business or not, it is what it is. Landon, for sure, 100%. Osai, you say, do you think people past are important in terms of getting to know a person, or no? Hey, I feel like, and this is again unpopular, but I feel like the past is always important, because the past makes us who we are. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get a lot, you gonna get a lot of questions answered. As a matter of fact, you can prevent a lot of situations by getting to know a person's past. Now, I'm not saying judge them on that past and say, oh, you must be a trash person because you did X, Y, and Z. No, I'm saying like I need to get in tune with your past so that if some things happen in the future, I can connect it to the past. But if I don't know your history, then it's gonna be hard for me to develop a relationship with you and solve problems and help you solve problems and prevent problems. But if I do the knowledge of your history, if I find out that, hey, you know what I'm saying, she was abused when she was a youngin', so then if she start acting a certain type of way, I'm like, okay, that's connected to that. Okay, she was abused when she was a child. Okay, this explains X, Y, and Z. But if you don't give me that information, then how can I connect that dot? Now I'm just gonna look at you like you tripping. You know what I'm saying? So the more information that you give me, the better I'm able to help you and understand you. But if you don't give me that information, then I'm gonna lack an understanding of you, and that's gonna create problems. So people are like, oh, the past ain't important. Man, the past is always important, because the past, however we want to move and believe, like the past makes us who we are today, because that's our experiences. So we didn't develop a lot of personality traits and characteristic traits based off what we went through in the past. So if you don't give somebody that information, then they left guessing. Like, oh, well, that she must have been molested, or she must have been neglected as a child, or abandoned. But we guessing, opposed to just telling me that. So I always feel like the past is important, man, because that's information that can be used to help me understand you better. So I never say the past is not important. You know what I'm saying? That's just on a large scale, like with black people. That's like saying our history is like not important. You know what I'm saying? No. You know what I'm saying? No. Like our history is very important. Matter of fact, it's so important that they tried to wipe it out because they knew how important it was. They knew how powerful of a tool our history was or could be. So that's why they destroyed the libraries. So now a past is always important. If you don't have a past that you're not proud of, so what? So what? You survived it, man. But don't try to shield that past from other people where you leave them guessing, trying to gain an understanding of you. I feel like that's unfair. And again, I know that's unpopular, but it is what it is. Even if you had, like, a lot of times when people talk about past, they talk about bodies in regards to partners that they had sex with or people that they had sex with. I feel like that's important to know. And one of the reasons I feel like that is important to know, because it's like I'm tapping into your mentality. You know what I'm saying? It was probably a reason why you felt the need to do that. Now, I'm not going to judge you based off of that, or I can judge you based off of that, but man, that's important information because you might have been in a certain space, and that may have something to do with something that happened to you as a child, to where you felt the need that you had to jump from partner to partner in regards to having sex. Man, that's important information. That's important information to know. That's very valuable information because that taps into your psychology. You know what I'm saying? We can have a very deep conversation by you letting me know these type of things and me letting you know those type of things about myself. And that can lead to an understanding. But if you just start acting a certain type of way and you won't give me no information, like I said, now I'm going to judge you just based off of how you acting with no understanding of your history. So either way, like, you're going to get judged. You know what I'm saying? Either way. So you might as well just lay it all out on the table and let somebody know what they're dealing with. That's why I be letting people know out the gate. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't too fond of people. Woo, woo. Like, I'm going to just let you know out the gate. Like, when I was a child, X, Y, and Z happened. Like, this what happened when I went to high school. Like, I'm trying to give you this information. So when I start acting a certain type of way, you ain't confused. Like, man, why is this dude like this? No, I gave you this information out the gate. So now when I start acting like this, you're like, okay, this connected to what happened when he was a child. Now let me try to help him with this situation. Thoko Hope, man, I didn't talk about so much what how to explain what to a potential partner. If you're talking about when I talked about discussing beliefs and things like that, I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but I've been talking about so much. I'm gonna just need for you to go ahead and clarify explaining what to a potential partner. Oh, Osai, yeah, for sure. And like I said, man, it is what it is. Like, the truth gonna always come out. You know what I'm saying? So just let somebody know, man. If you had a lot of partners, man, just let them know. Let them know it. Let them know. If you know what I'm saying, let them know the truth. Let them know it and break down your mindset behind why. I mean, listen, man, at the end of the day, somebody can either accept you for who you are or they not. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, that's it. So when you give somebody the truth, they either gonna accept that truth or they not. If they don't accept it, then you don't need to be with that person. If you lay down your whole entire history, your whole entire past, and somebody accepts you based off of that, and you think that it was rough like that, hey, that's big. That's real. That's real. So everybody be afraid of talking about their past, man. Like, why though? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Like, yeah, it was in the past and it happened, but man, you don't think that has an effect on who you are right now? That has all the effect. That's who you are now. Like, you are the sum total of your past experiences right now. The way that you move and act has everything to do with what happened to you prior to right now. So no, like, that's something that needs to be discussed. You may not know how some of this stuff is impacting you. You may not be aware, but that don't mean that it's not. So lay it out all on the table. L Dragon, peace, appreciate you. Thoko, you say, what makes a man emotionally attached to a woman? It's layers to that. It's layers to that. As a matter of fact, hold on. All right, Thoko, I'm finna ask, but you said what makes a man emotionally attached to a woman? It's layers to that. And we gonna go deep here. Cause I'm a deal with the state of mind of a lot of dudes. And y'all have heard this before if you didn't study any ounce of life psychology. As weird as it may sound. But some people, when they are with some dudes, when they are looking for a woman, they are seeking motherly qualities from them. So a lot of times that emotional attachment can come from them, like they not see their mother in the woman as far as like physically speaking, like she looks like her, but the way that she acts and treats them. And that can be twofold. Either they had a good mother coming up, or they lack the mother figure. Just like on the flip side, that can be true for the woman. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's one thing that can create that emotional attachment. You know, he lacked a mother figure growing up, and so now he's with it. That's what he's seeking in women. They take care of him like a mother, the mother figure that he's been missing in his life. That could create an emotional attachment. Or if he had that good mother coming up, it's like boom, he seeks that in his woman also, and that can create that emotional attachment. I feel like those are two main things that get swept under the rug in regards to men. Like we talk about it with like young girls and then women growing up and things like that, lacking the father figure and seeking that out in men, but that also applies to dudes. And that can lead to that emotional attachment. That can lead to that emotional attachment big time. Wisdom, peace, what's happening? Hope I just answered that question for you. Now that we could get deeper with that too, but I feel like those are some things that leads to that emotional attachment. Oh, Corey, for sure. Hey, know your worth. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know your worth for sure. Yeah. Hustling since birth. Peace, peace. What's the word? Houston Buckley, peace. What's happening, my brother? Okay, Thoko, you say that marriage is a business decision. Hey, the best way to do it is have a conversation. I read a book, and y'all know I read so many books, I forget the names, but this was a book on entrepreneurship. And they were saying that book, he flat out said, as a man, he was like, listen, your business got to come before you, got to come first. A lot of people like, oh my gosh, that's selfish. Dude was like, think about it. If I got a family and this family revolves around me and they depends on me, and if the way that I put food on the table is my business, then if my business fails, then we don't eat. We don't have a roof over our heads. So my business has to come first. So he was like, the only way to get that through, you got to have that conversation with. You just got to tell them the honest truth initially, up front. You got to let them know where you stand up front. Like I said, they're going to either accept it or reject it. So you got to let them know up front, hey, this is a business decision, and break down why it is a business decision. That's the most important thing too. You always got to break down the why. A lot of times we say something, but we don't explain or elaborate. When you say it's a business decision, you got to give them the why. What we say, make the understanding understood. The only way to provide the understanding is to break down why you feel it is a business decision. Then you make it make sense. And like I said, once you make it make sense, once you make the understanding understood, then it's like, okay, they either going to accept it or reject it. But you definitely got to just have a conversation, be upfront, be honest with them. Hey, this is a business decision. I'm not necessarily saying that in a negative light, but it's a brand. We going to be a reflection of each other when we separate from each other. Then if we plan to have kids, like everything going to be a reflection of the brand. I want to bring somebody into my mix that I feel like is going to be valuable to not only myself, but my children, and this, that, and the third. Like, that's a business decision. When you hire people to work for your business, you want to hire people that will elevate your business. You want to hire people in the sense to where you feel like you can walk away from this business and it's still good. That's the way you want to view this relationship. Like, when you out on your own, I want to feel like I can trust you because you are a reflection of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, cool, I ain't got to worry about her because she living by my principles and vice versa. We living by the same set of principles. That's a business decision. Like, when you have a business, when you work for a corporation, they have principles. They have a whole rule book. You either go by that rule book or you get fired. When you in a relationship, it's got to be the same way. We got a set of principles. We got a set of rules and regulations, code and conduct. We abide by these rules and regulations when we with each other, when we not with each other. And that's what I be trying to tell people. A lot of times, man, you be watching, you be looking at people, and you be like, well, dad, you know what I'm saying? Like, such and such is not really a good reflection of dude, or such and such is not a good reflection of his woman. Like, what in the world? What's going on here? Like they can have two different personalities, but they principles, they foundation is the same. That's important. That is important. But the only way to have that like to have that conversation is to have that conversation and be honest. Hey, Shantae, that's the best way to do it. Ain't you 2004, like, yeah, people don't want to be judged, and that's it. Like, I don't really care. You know, initially in the beginning, like, yeah, I was caring, but I don't care now. TR Peace, what's happening? Magic for sure. And it's like we go through the things that we go through, like, and we feel like we made decisions and we wasn't good or bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't judge people based off of that, man, because I understand life, man. I done been young. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I understand these things, but man, like, just let me know. Hey, Osai, appreciate that donation. Mel, you say it's true. All my brothers, kids, mothers remind me of my mother. It's really funny. Yeah, like for real. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm saying, that's not good or bad, but it's like that can create that emotional attachment. Like for real, like that's real in the field. Like that is something that's serious, that's deep. Hence why you have some women that don't like to date dudes that they consider mama's boys and things like that, because that's that emotional attachment. You know, straight up though. Like that applies to dudes, man. And that emotional y'all know how I feel about attachment. Like y'all know how I feel. Y'all know how I feel about that. You know, y'all know how I feel about attachment, man. That can become a very bad thing. You know, especially when emotions are involved. That could become a serious situation. And y'all know one thing about business is it's cutthroat. You know, so when I'm telling you a relationship is business, like, man, you automatically finna practice detachment. You automatically about to practice that, like, indirectly, because business is cutthroat, man. It's a cutthroat world, you know, and that's just, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Like, one of the perks or the pros of viewing a relationship as business, like, you can work for a corporation for 20 years, and if you start falling off, taking the L, that corporation will not hesitate to let you go and replace you. Now, I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, like, that sounds harsh, but that's life though. That's life. Like, if you've been with somebody 20 years and then y'all start to go down separate paths, like, that's possible. You got to be able to move on with your life without that person. I don't care. Don't look at it like, oh, I wasted 20 years with him. You didn't waste 20 years. You learned something. You learned a lot probably within that 20-year period. Y'all just grew apart. Y'all grew apart. But you got to be able to move on. Just like that corporation gonna move on without you, you got to be able to move on. You know what I'm saying? You have got to be able to do that, point blank. And a lot of people not able to do that, whether it's the emotional attachment, whatever it is. But a lot of people, man, be obsessed, be attached to the point where when they separate, man, I've seen this. Like I said, I've seen this within the fam. You know what I'm saying? Where people have lost a spouse and they, not too long after they lost a spouse, they were gone. Because they were told, like, everything was like revolved around that person, emotionally, physically, all of that. That can literally kill you. That can literally kill you, being overly attached to a person or dependent upon a person. That can literally kill you. I've watched it. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it. I've seen it literally kill people. So that's just not a healthy way to live. A lot of people view it as cute. No, it's just like, that's not cute. You should listen. I'm telling y'all, ladies, if you with a dude that's clingy, hey, you need to start questioning this situation. That's not cute, man. That's just nothing cute about that. It's not cute to be clingy. Like somebody that will not give you space, even if you demand it. It's nothing cute about that. You might need to evaluate that whole relationship, because that can end terribly. A person that is always underneath you is not good. It's not good. I'm telling y'all, it's not good. It's not cute. It's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. If a person feel like they gotta always be underneath you 100% of the time, I'm telling y'all that's not what you want to be with. It's not who you want to be with. It's not. You don't want to be in that situation. Yeah, Charles, and I was semi trying to say that too. Yep, but for sure. Thoko, you say, can a man like you but not have an emotional attachment to you? See, again, I'm the king of unpopular opinions. I'm a king of these opinions. I am going to say no. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to say no. And I've had to break this down to a lot of sisters. I done had to break this down to a lot of sisters when they feel like when they start talking about having male best friends outside, like they be with a whole dude or they be with dudes and they talk about having male best friends, more than one of them. I get it. You might have known a guy since y'all were like 5, this, that, and the third. Cool. But I'm like, just because you may not view this man in that light, don't mean he's not thinking it. I didn't have to break this down to a lot of sisters. I'm like, yeah, you may view him as a best friend. You may say, I never looked at him in that light. Never would I even consider it. But I am telling you, if the opportunity presented itself for a dude to go ahead and swoop you up more than enough time, I'm guaranteeing you he probably would. A lot of women don't understand that one. A lot of women don't understand that. I didn't have to have this conversation with a lot of sisters. A lot of sisters. And Thoko, that and now I view that in the same light. Like, man, if he like you, that's already an emotional attachment in and of itself. That's already an emotional attachment. It's levels to emotional attachment. There's levels to it. They not all on the same frequency. So him liking you is enough for that emotional attachment to be present. It's just at a different level. But I'm the king of unpopular opinions. I be trying to tell people, man, when these women be like this my dude best friend, I never get. I'm like, you saying that, but I guarantee you, when bro around his homeboys, he like, man, if she wasn't in that situation, I guarantee y'all, man. How you think you about to be an attractive sister and you got a male best friend that ain't thinking about you in another life outside of just being your male best friend? Come on now. Please don't be that naive and gullible. And I'm just keeping it honest with y'all. You can still be best friends with this dude, but I'm telling you that if the opportunity presented itself, he would try. He would swoop you up. He just stand around because that's what you allow him to be. He don't want to be out your life entirely because he likes you. He fools with you. So he gonna take that best friend role because he want to continue to be around you. But people don't want to hear that honest truth though. So you can keep thinking that you got 10 male best friends and 10 male friends that ain't thinking nothing of you if you want to. But that's not the case. Princess Peace, what's happening? But again, Mr. Unpopular Opinion. People swear up and down that dudes be out here cool with being in his friend zone and don't have any type of thoughts. Just because y'all saying y'all won't act on no thoughts or y'all won't view them in a certain type of light, y'all think that applies for these dudes. Man, y'all don't know y'all don't know the world we live in. I'm a dude. I'm a man. I'm telling y'all how these men think. Keep thinking that this dude just your friend. And then they start saying dumb stuff. Like, oh, he's married too. He's in a relationship too. What does that mean in 2020? What is that? When is that ever relevant, really? Eileen, Peace, what's happening? You say you're describing my situation right now. What does it mean if he got a job because you broke up because he didn't have a job? Let me read that one more time. What does it mean if he got a job because you broke up because he didn't have a job? So are you saying you broke up with him because he didn't have a job, then he went and got a job? Is that what you're saying? Oh, side, 100%. 100%. He'll take what he can get. 100%. That's why I'm not walking around here acting like I got women best friends. Nope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even fan. You would never hear. No. You know what I'm saying? Once you get into a certain situation, that sounds no. Like, we not having that. Your best friend is your spouse. You know what I'm saying? Like, your best friend is your spouse. You know what I'm saying? Is you first. You the best knower of yourself. Then you get in that marriage. Then that's your best friend. You are not about to be a grown man in a whole marriage and saying, well, I got this female best friend. No. That's saying I'm not going. And then be like, well, we'll never. I wasn't born overnight. I wasn't born yesterday. I don't know about some of y'all. Y'all can fall for that type of nonsense. Y'all can fall for that. If you really want to sit here and believe that your woman got about 2 dudes that she's saying her best friends or her friends, and you want to believe that it's all, man, listen, the moment that you start tripping, the moment y'all have some situations that get rough, come on, man. Y'all know where I'm going with it. Don't even play with me. Kelvin, peace, appreciate that donation. You say we forget about our damn self trying to make everybody else see. Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. We always neglecting ourselves, man. Always. Jasmine, 100%. I ain't falling for it. And I'm using the term best friend. Do y'all realize what I'm saying? I'm saying best friend. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Y'all understand how odd that sounds? When you're in a relationship, like, you just, how odd does this sound? I'm in a relationship. I mean, I'm married to a woman, and I'm saying another woman is my best friend. Like, how does that sound? Am I the only one that feels like that sounds weird? Like, what does that even mean? Are you a woman and you married to a man and you talking about a whole other dude is your best friend? What? Like, yeah, y'all can have that. You know how many times I'd have been around situations like that to where people talk, like, I didn't seen this. People talking about that's my best friend and whoop, and then I'm seeing how they act, and I'm like, man, best friends act like that? When the time presents itself, I'm just telling you, one of the parties gonna have some feelings attached to the situation. One of the parties. Man, it's in that you cannot be an attractive man or an attractive woman and be cool with the opposite sex for a very long time and somebody not develop some type of feelings for one another. Can't be. If I'm a dude and I'm just a decent, upstanding dude, I'm a good dude, and I'm a positive dude, I'm an honest dude, and I've been knowing a chick for 15 plus years, and everything about me says a good quality dude. Now, I might not be looking at her in that light, but man, you don't think that somewhere down this line she finna be like, man, this dude is a good dude. He's not ugly. He's honest. He's always helpful. You don't think somewhere down the line that somebody gonna develop some type of feelings? Come on now. Okay, Darlene, you said yes. Oh, so hey, that's that reality check then. He got it. You broke up with it because he didn't have a job. Then he went and got a job. That was that reality check. Unfortunately, sometimes that's how you got to make some people learn. You got to disconnect from them in order for them to grow up. So that's what that is. They was dependent on somebody, and then their source of dependence was cut off, and they was like, hold on, wait a minute. I gotta fend for myself now. Unfortunately, you have to do that to some people in order for them to start handling their business. It's sad, but it's the truth. Luke, for sure. Justin, peace, what's happening? TRK, I'm trying to tell you, man. People like, oh man, he just my best friend. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. If we start tripping, listen, if I was in a situation and we was together for 15 years and you claim you've been knowing a dude for 20, 25 years and you attractive and you say, well, we never looked at each other in that light, if we started tripping instantly, if we had a little rough patch, and you was over there in a vulnerable moment, man, I guarantee you, he would try something. Come on now. But again, unpopular opinions. They signed peace. Appreciate that donation. You saying 2022 anything goes. There's no boundaries anymore. It's basically Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0, not the same. Oh, yeah. Sodom and Gomorrah. Hey, you can sound really, we don't, hey, there's a lot of Jews in religious ideology and religion, religious concepts and stories and parables. So yeah, for sure, Sodom and Gomorrah, 100%. If you familiar with the story, this is a big reflection of what we dealing with, and that's what it was intended to do. It was intended to give us the story, like that's the parable, that's the Jew. So 100%, like anything, literally anything goes. People don't even follow traffic laws these days. They don't even stop at red lights. Like that's how crazy the world is. People don't follow traffic laws, man. They running red lights out here. Like you, it's just, it ain't safe anywhere. Devontae, that's sick. And you see that all the time. That's my brother. That's my sister. That's my brother. That's my sister. Like what? And that's again, like, dude, no. That's not your brother. That's not your sister. And they be all lovey-dovey. Like I've seen all of that. Like, dude, that's weird. Fair and peace. What's happening? You say that's exactly what I'm in right now, but because of lack of communication on my part, I lost him. Hey, that lack of communication is big. And I always talk about me in communication because I'm not really a sociable person. The last thing I really be trying to do is talk. Now, granted, when I get to talking about certain things, then you can't stop me. But it's like me just kind of going out of my way to talk. That's never been my strong point. Never been, you know. E reacts. I see it all the time. And that's why I'm talking about women. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes already be knowing what the deal is. You know what I'm saying? As far as like trying to have, we ain't going for that. Like a lot of dudes gonna be like, nah, I'm not gonna walk around talking about I got girl best friends with a hope. Nope. Like a lot of dudes ain't even entertaining that thought. But it's a lot of women that be like, nah, it's just my friend. Nope. No, that's not. No, it is literally not. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, no, it's not. Y'all just don't. We are men telling you this. So it's like it kills me when women don't listen to men telling them about how men think and act. We are telling you this as men. The wife is in the building. Y'all say peace to the wife. But what she don't understand is, for one, I have no fear of being cut. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just as crazy. You know what I'm saying? So that ain't really no threat to me. Like you might have to make another threat. But yeah. Anais, peace, what's happening? Oh, Darlene, that's 100% bad. It's terrible. It's terrible. He definitely should have been able to make that step by himself. Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, that's terrible. If you was with a guy, didn't have a job, you broke up with him because he didn't have a job, then he got it after the fact. Yeah, that's terrible. That is terrible, 100%. And matter of fact, that was confirmation that you needed. Like, yep, that guy's trash. It shouldn't have took all of that for him to get a job. Like, no, especially as a man. Like, as a man, it shouldn't take all that. Air view, yeah, for the most part. But the lights are not. Like when red light, the consensus is at a red light, we stop. That ain't the consensus no more. Red light, they be flying through them joints. Like, nah. Hold on, I'm seeing all type of. Hold on now, y'all tap in. And nice, there you go. Farron, you say I put up invisible boundaries that he never put up. Being in my head, I doubted myself. Hey, and that happened, man. I have had this discussion a lot, and I've told people a lot of times we create scenarios in our heads and minds about other people that's not true. We do that a lot. We make a situation what it isn't. You know what I'm saying? By creating this false image or this false reality, false narrative in our minds. And we end up destroying a lot of potentially good situations because of that. You know, and I've had that conversation with a lot of people. A lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get better with that. We gotta start working with what people give us, opposed to like what we think they should be giving us in our minds, or like stuff like that. Whatever it is we creating in our minds, like we gotta stop doing that. You know, we gotta stop doing that. When it comes to other people, like, hey, your perception is reality to an extent. When it comes to other people, like, nah, you can't like perceive a person to be a certain type of way, especially when they just showed you who they are, when they telling you who they are. Like, if they didn't tell you these things about themselves, like, who are you to just slap it on? You know, a lot of times people be doing that. I done had that done to me more than enough times. Like, dude, how you know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute. Like back in the day when I was a youngin', like people was just having this false perception of who I am. I'm like, hold on, man. So they create like you said, may not have been creating boundaries, but they was just creating this whole like approach towards me because they thought I was a certain type of way and I wasn't. And it was like confusion a lot of times. Like, dude, why are you acting like this towards me? It's because they thought I was a certain type of way based off of this false narrative that they didn't create it in their minds. Thoko, you say a guy just ended things with me because he doesn't feel emotionally connected to me, even though he says he likes me. Makes no sense. I'm gonna give you. All right, Thoko, I'm gonna go ahead and break this down because we do. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dude over here. Hey, that's a dude that's afraid of like commitment or whatever the case may be. That's just what that is. When that's when they say when you study business, they tell you one thing. When you study marketing 101, one of the first things that's gonna come up when you study marketing and you start studying consumer behavior, they gonna say consumers buy with emotion, try to justify with logic. That's what that's what's happening right now. He is trying to justify his fear of commitment with some type of logic, but it's really irrational what he is saying. So he has a fear of commitment, which is emotional, and he's trying to justify that fear, that emotion, with logic by saying, I'm not emotionally connected to you, but I like you. Dude, no. No. You know what I'm saying? No. You just afraid of commitment. You know what I'm saying? How many other people he done told that to? Like, you know how vague that is? You know what I'm saying? I can tell that to anybody. I like you, but I ain't emotionally connected to you. Man, I can tell that to anybody. Man, that's just, come on, man. That's a fear of commitment. That brother is just afraid of commitment. And you things may have been moving too fast for his liking, whatever the case may be. But that's just fear. And he's trying to justify with a logical statement. But it really is irrational. Hey, Landon, them my joints right there. Anais, 100%. TR for sure. Luke, definitely. Kelvin, for sure, appreciate that donation. You say, well, turn your evil around to live, for sure. You know what I'm saying? They tell you. That's what they tell you. Evil is live backwards and things like that, man. Or evil backwards is live, things like that. But yeah, Thoko, that's you know what I'm saying. That's a fear of commitment. Like, yep, nope. Yeah, I like you, but I ain't emotionally connected to you. Like, yeah, that sounds good, bro. But when you ask them to break down what they say, a lot of times people be trying to sound deep out here, but really don't be like saying anything. So when you ask him to explain it, it ain't gonna make any sense. It may sound good. It may sound like something very deep. Like, oh, okay, yeah, he likes me, but he ain't emotionally connected to me. That sounds deep. Explain, please. Then they explain it ain't gonna make no sense. Just say you not ready, yo. He was better off by just saying I'm not ready for this, or you know what I'm saying, this is moving too fast for me, something like that. That's it. Just leave it at that, bro. Just leave it at that, bro. Like I'm not, just leave it at that. Like I don't want to be in this situation. Like that's how I'm looking at it. I don't want to be in this situation. That's all you gotta say. But we, you know what I'm saying? Like we finna try to make things sound good because we want you to stick around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what dude on. Like I ain't ready for this commitment, but I kind of don't want to let you go though. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna try to spit it in a way that makes him I keep you around. Like that's all that is. Because if he just like, man, I ain't ready for this, this ain't gonna work out, then now you gone. Like you gone, like gone, like this is over with. E reacts for sure. Walker, yep. Luna, yep. That's exactly what I was talking about. Yep. TR, yep, 100%. Judge J, peace, what's happening? Yeah, they not trying to be honest at all. Just say it ain't gonna work out, man. Like I ain't ready for it. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't ready for this situation. It's moving too fast for me. Like I ain't ready for this commitment. Woo woo. Dudes ain't gonna come out and really say that though. Some will, lot won't. They gonna try to hit you with some fancy justification. That's what they gonna do, man. It's just, it is what it is, man. Like that's just the reality of the situation. They gonna hit you with that fancy justification, and that's it. Just yeah, I'd have seen that 100%. Make you out to be crazy, obsessed, infatuated, things like that. All loot, you know what I'm saying, in due time. You know what I'm saying? You focus on yourself, you're gonna attract what you need. Notice I said what you need and not what you want. Big difference there. You know what I'm saying? Big difference. What you need will be different from what you want. They are not one and the same. Unless you are 100% in tune. Now, if you're 100% in tune, then your needs and wants might be similar. Just like if you in tune with your health, like your needs and wants might be, so you might want that fruit. You want to eat those vegetables, and that's exactly what you need. But if you're not in tune, your needs and your wants are definitely different. You know what I'm saying? Your needs and wants are 100% different. But if you in tune, they may line up actually, because you may want what's healthy for you. Thoko, nah, like I honestly no, because dude, like at the end of the day, you can't do anything to change his mindset. He's got to come around. That's the only thing that can happen. He has to come around. Like he has to change his mindset, and he has to come around. There's really nothing that you can do other than try to force it. But you know what I'm saying? He didn't already say what he said. The only thing that can happen is he changes his mindset and then he comes around. Like that's it. Like that's literally it. Like that's just the honest truth of the situation. No matter if they make a good husband or not, like if dude done gave you that truth, you gotta take it and roll with it. Like, yep, he done gave you this irrational response to this situation. I'm gonna take that intel and roll with it. Nothing you can do to change that. You can't make him you can't make him feel this emotional attachment. You know, if he tell you he ain't emotionally attached, well, you gotta take that as it's true. You know, 100%. That Kelvin for sure. So I wouldn't even, you know, a lot of people, a lot of people make that mistake, stay around in those type of situations. Because now at this point, if you stay around, if you stay in that situation, then if things go, you know what I'm saying, if things go wrong, then there's nobody to really blame but you, because he let you know the truth. You know, so nah, I just go ahead and be like, yep, he liked me, but he's not emotionally connected to me. Whatever that means in his world, that's his truth. So let me go ahead and keep on moving, keep it pushing. Yeah, just 100%. Yeah, Walker, yep. Hey, so sometimes you gotta let, even if it's a person that you might feel like is good for you, whatever the case, they let you know that, hey, this is not that. Go ahead and take that and roll with it. Live to fight another day. You don't even want to fight that fight. You don't want to do it. Oh yeah, he reacts for sure. Say people need to learn to let go and stop chasing. The sooner the better. Yeah. Don't chase anything. I tell people that all the time. Don't chase anything. Feel like I'm trying to find this and I'm trying to find that. That's the wrong approach to life. I ain't trying to find it. I'm activating everything. I'm activating things internally and I'm letting things come to me. I ain't about to go out here trying to find this and seeking for this and searching for that. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna activate the right type of energy and I'm gonna let everything unfold and come to me according to the energy that I have activated. That's all I need. That's all I need to do. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I tapped in. I feel like I'm about to be one of these joints going live for like 5 hours, man, at the rate in which I'm going. So let me go ahead and cut this short before I keep going. But this is a nice stream, man. Very positive, very peaceful stream. We try to keep the vibes peaceful. Within all the seriousness, there is peace. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate the donations. I appreciate everybody tapping in with the kid. Like I said, this was a nice stream. It's May. I'm trying to get back in the groove of things with the streaming. You know what I'm saying? And working on these books, all these things that I'm working on, man. We about to make some big things happen, man. So it's all good. Y'all be on the lookout for these books that I'm coming out with. It's gonna be a lot of them, man. I'm gonna try to we're gonna up the ante on these books, man. Be on the lookout for these books, man. I'm about to be coming with a lot of books. I think the first book I'm gonna come out with is one revolving around fasting, because I've been studying fasting a lot lately. So be on the lookout for a book by me revolving around fasting. That's gonna be probably the next book that I drop. Something regarding fasting. Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for that. But I appreciate y'all, man. It's always peace and powerful vibes on the chat, on the stream. None of that negativity, none of that nonsense. But I'm out. I'm gonna try to tap in with y'all maybe again on Tuesday. May do some shorter videos, shorter uploads tomorrow. But it's all good. It's all love. It's all peace. Y'all be easy and enjoy the rest of this Sunday. Peace.